Are you tired of having point guard after point guard after point guard start the season for the New York Knicks? If you are, like this video. Like this video if you want the Knicks to make a move this summer for a starting point guard. It is time. It is the summer of the Knicks adding a point guard, and we got to speak it into existence. So like this video if you want the Knicks to make a move for a point guard this summer. Welcome into New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green, and in today's show, we're going to take a look at 5 different offseason point guards the Knicks can target in free agency and through the trade market. But first, we got to go back in history and look at who has started at point guard on opening night for the New York Knicks since 2009, and man, it is ugly. The Knicks are like the Cleveland Browns of quarterbacks. The Browns, they can't find a quarterback, and the Knicks, they cannot find a point guard. This year it was Kemba Walker, a lot of expectations, didn't work out. Elfrid Payton, it's Elfrid Payton. Then in 2019, it seems like that was 10 years ago, but Alonzo Trier was the starting point guard for the Knicks. In 2018, it was Trey Burke. He had some splash games, but he wasn't a very good player for the Knicks. Then in 2017, it was Ramon Sessions. There was rumors, and a lot of Knicks fans I know wanted Sessions back in 2013, 14. They didn't get him then. They got him in 2017. Didn't matter because he wasn't good. Then the Knicks got Derrick Rose, shout out Phil Jackson, but that didn't work either. Then the guy that we all knew wasn't going to work, Jose Calderon, back in 2015. Then what about Shane Larkin? Yeah, Shane effing Larkin back in 2014. It gets worse, but it actually got better in 2013. Shout out to Pablo Prigioni. He was actually a solid point guard for the Knicks. Not a great starter, but a solid player and a cool story. Then Raymond Felton in 2012. That was his second stint with the New York Knicks. Then Tony Douglas. I actually like Tony Douglas, but he was more of that six-man second guard off the bench. And then 2010, Raymond Felton, when we signed him in free agency the summer of Amari Stoudemire, he actually played really well before being traded in the Carmelo Anthony trade. And then Chris Duhon back in 2009. It has been a bloodbath for the Knicks when they look to find point guards. And in today's video, I'm going to try to highlight 5 guys that I think will be better than all of those guys for the Knicks in the 2022 NBA season. And look, if the Knicks make a move for a point guard, make sure you're subscribed because we will be making a video about it. We are a one-stop shop for all Knicks news and rumors. So if you love the Knicks and you like watching videos on YouTube, subscribe to this channel. More subs we get on this on this channel, we can do more videos. So I need your help. I want to do more videos, and I know you guys want more Knicks videos. So go down right now and hit that big red button. Point guard target number 1 for the New York Knicks this summer should be Donovan Mitchell, and do I need to say more? He has long been rumored to wanting to play for the Knicks, and the Knicks being interested in him, just not enough on draft night when they didn't pick him. But Rick Bucher, a couple weeks back, he put out a piece on Donovan Mitchell, and he said this: if the Jazz appear to be feeling pressure to redeem themselves for last year's second-round playoff exit after posting the league's best record, NBA executives say it's in part because the future of star guard Donovan Mitchell in Utah depends on it. The insistent buzz around the league is that there are those in Mitchell's circle who believe he is too big of a star for Salt Lake City. Further, some say it's only a matter of time before he joins former CAA agent and current New York Knicks president Leon Rose. A Eastern Conference scout said this: the Utah Jazz are a first-round exit from Donovan Mitchell being in New York. And that would be great for me, Knicks fans, you, because if you're watching this, fans, you love the Knicks. And imagine getting these numbers from a point guard on the New York Knicks. 26 points a night, 5 assists, shooting 45% from the field, and 35% from beyond the three-point line. Donovan Mitchell would be the best point guard in Knicks history in my lifetime, and I think they got to go all in on Donovan Mitchell this summer, especially if he wants out of Utah. Go get the Spider. Make Donovan Mitchell a New York Knicks. So I would go down and type my T for trade. But if you don't want the Knicks to trade for Donovan Mitchell, maybe you want them to hold on to the guys they got or get a young'un in the draft, go down and type P for pass. But if you're like me and you want Donovan Mitchell wearing blue and orange, go down in the comments and type T for trade. Point guard target number 2. And honestly, right after Donovan Mitchell, I think this is a bit just as big of a win, and that would be Dejounte Murray, the point guard for the San Antonio Spurs. He is one of the most complete point guards in the NBA, in my opinion. I hate the stat, but he's almost a walking triple-double. This year he's averaging a tick under 20 points per night, 9.3 assists. He's shooting 46% from the field, but he does struggle a little bit from shooting from three, just under 32%. He shoots about 4 3-pointers a game, so it's not a big part of his game, but definitely an area that he can work on. And if he can become a consistent three-point shooter, I could really see him being an all-NBA type of player. Maybe the Knicks don't want to trade for him. They want to wait till 2025 to go get him. That's when he would be an unrestricted free agent, and he would just be 28 years old. But if you wanted to make a trade for him this offseason, it wouldn't take much to match the salary. This upcoming season in 2022, he'll be making $16.5 million. Then the following year, just $17 million. So you wouldn't have to add a guy like Randall to make salary match. Maybe the Spurs would want Randall. I'd throw him in there in a hurry if I got Dejounte Murray. But this is a trade idea that I saw on the internet, and I want to ask you guys a question. The Knicks, they would get Dejounte Murray, but they would trade out Cam Reddish, Emmanuel Quickley, Obi Toppin, and 2 first-round picks. I'd have to think about it, but at the end of the day, as much as it was hate for me to see Quickley and Toppin go, man, I love me some sloppy toppy, but at the end of the day, if he had to go to get Dejounte Murray in here, I would do it. But you take the seat of Leon Rose. Be the GM. Should the Knicks make this trade? Type A for accept or type D for decline. Be active in the comments section for me. I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Fanatics. They are hooking you guys up with deals all year long. They got hoodies on sale. They got sweet zip-up jackets like this. At least if the Knicks are going to suck, do it while being swaggy. Wear some Knicks gear. Maybe you want a hoodie. They got all type of stuff on sale. Beanies, gloves, more hoodies. But you got to go to chatsports.com/Knicks sale. If you just go looking for this stuff, you're not going to get the deals, and they won't be on sale. But if you want a new hoodie, maybe you want a beanie, maybe you want some mittens, anything they really have, it's on sale. Chatsports.com/Knicks sale. Plug it in, get to shopping, wear some Knicks merch, and look good. Off-season point guard target number 3, and that's Jalen Brunson. I tried to make a list of realistic guys. I didn't want to include Dame Lillard or Russell Westbrook or John Wall because I don't really want any of those guys. Jalen Brunson is someone I would pursue very strongly this offseason. In 32 minutes per game this year, he's averaging 16 points per game, just under 6 assists, a great field goal percentage of 50 for a smaller guard like him. That is really good. And he's continued to become a better three-point shooter every single year in the association. This year shooting just under 37%. And I would expect if he moved away from Luka Doncic, that assist number would get closer to about 9. But at the end of the day, you would have to look at it from this point of view. It would most likely have to be a sign and trade. The Knicks, they don't have as much cap space as I would like heading into the 2022 NBA free agency period. Shout out to Evan Fournier, Alec Burks, and Nerlens Noel for that. But you can always make cap gymnastics happen. You can make a sign and trade happen where if Jalen Brunson wanted to be a New York Knick, they would give him that word and they would start to work out a sign and trade with the Dallas Mavericks. So just because the Knicks don't have cap space doesn't mean they cannot pursue Jalen Brunson. I think he'd be a great fit if Tom Thibodeau is back next year, but who knows at this point if he will be the coach for the New York Knicks. But be honest. Do you think the Knicks should pursue Jalen Brunson in NBA free agency, whether that's a straight-out sign-in free agency or a sign-and-trade situation? I think he'd be a great point guard, a lead guard in a team. We've seen what he's done out next to Luka Doncic, but imagine him having full control of an NBA offense. I think it'd be a great sight. Type Y for yes, or if not, go down in the comments and type N for no. This might be a sneaky name, but there's been trade rumors that the Indiana Pacers are going to look to move on from Malcolm Brogdon this offseason, and that's why he's my Knicks offseason point guard target number 4. Some people say, Marsh, he's really just a 2-guard or a combo guard. I firmly believe Malcolm Brogdon can be a lead guard for a winning basketball team. His stats last year averaged over 21 points per night, almost 6 assists, just over 5 rebounds per night, shooting 45% from the field, and nearly 39% from deep. Maybe the shooting numbers last year were inflated due to the fact there was nobody in the crowd and it was the COVID season. They changed the basketball, whatever it is. His three-point percentage has gone down a little bit this year, down to 30%. Field goal percentage still hovering around 45, and he's still a 6 assist, 5 rebound guy and averaging just under 19 points per game. I really like the way Malcolm Brogdon has elevated and fully filled out the type of player he is in the NBA. He can be a lead guard. He's a knockdown shooter, a good defender, and he's just a winning type of player. I've always had kind of a man crush on Malcolm Brogdon. I've always wanted to see him play for the New York Knicks because I really like what he can do on the offensive end and the defensive end on the court. I think this would be a slam dunk signing or trade for the Knicks coming up this offseason. Our last PG offseason target for the New York Knicks is Collin Sexton. There was rumors before this season that the Knicks were interested in Collin Sexton, but it didn't work out, and this year he is now out for the season. So we're going to take a look at his stats from last season, where he played about 35 minutes per night, and he had a hell of a season. He averaged 24 points per game, just under 4.5 assists per night. I'd like to see that number go up, but he's an attacking style of point guard. He's a score-first guy that looks to create for others second, and I don't think that's a problem, because if you average 24 points per night and you shoot about 48% from the field and 37% from beyond the three-point line, you can do whatever you want, because those are great numbers, especially for a point guard that's just 23 years old. I expect the Cleveland Cavaliers to move off of Sexton this offseason because of the way Darius Garland has taken over as the lead role point guard for the Cavs. But pick one. We just talked about Malcolm Brogdon. Now we're talking about Collin Sexton. I don't know exactly who I would go with. I think Malcolm Brogdon is a better player right now. He is almost 30 years old, so I have a little bit of pause for concern for that. But Collin Sexton, if he can do what he did last year at the age of 23, I think he's the guy I would choose. But you do it in the comments for me right now. Type MB for Malcolm Brogdon or CS for Collin Sexton. Another way you can stay up to date on Knicks news and rumors, hit me up on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. I'm tweeting about the Knicks all day, every day. I grew up a Knicks fan. I bleed blue and orange, so I know the pain that the Knicks have when it comes to the point guard position. So to try to, up the spirits, if you hit me up and follow me on Twitter, send me a DM. Let me know you came from this video, and I will follow every single one of you back. Help me get to 1,000 followers. I'm trying to get there, and I want more Knicks followers, so go give me a follow at @MarshallGreen_.